Hi, it's Rob Bryanson, and welcome back. December 7th, 2007, the Imagining the 10th Dimension video blog. And today we're going to be reading from part one of a two-parter, and you'll find most of the one that we're looking at today is basically preamble for the argument that I'm going to set up, but it became clear to me that I was spending so much time setting up my argument that it was really going to be too long to have it all in one. So this one is called Boredom and Consciousness, and this is part one of it. We'll be following up with part two in a couple of days. It goes like this. At the 10th Dimension Forum, one of the subjects that comes up from time to time is synchronicity, the feeling many of us have experienced that information is coming at us from unconnected sources, yet it all seems to fit together somehow. Since our brains are all about finding and decoding patterns, there are no doubt going to be times when that information really is unconnected, and it is purely our brains that are building those connections. But these days, in a world of increasingly accelerated information input, there are also more and more times when those connections are real. And what we're viewing is really a map of the rapidly rising and falling memes that make up our combined consciousness. Talking to the general public about consciousness in terms of the nature of reality is something that appears to make quantum physicists uncomfortable, particularly those who like their science to be completely separate from anything more than a purely atheistic viewpoint. With this project, which joyfully embraces such a multitude of ways of imagining reality, including ones which mainstream science doesn't endorse, we're part of a growing community of people around the world who think that there is a major shift of global consciousness approaching. And for those who say this is more what the bleep nonsense, I'd like to quote from a book I've talked about in this video blog and in my text version of this blog before. Written by two respected physicists from the University of California, Santa Cruz, Bruce Rosenblum and Fred Kuttner. The book is called Quantum Enigma: Physics Encounters Consciousness. In dealing with the mysteries of quantum mechanics, we walk the edge of a slippery slope. A recent movie, informally called What the Bleep Do We Know?, provides a good illustration of the problem. The movie uses special effects to display quantum phenomena with macroscopic objects. For example, exaggerating the uncertainty of the position of a basketball. That's legitimate and is understood as hyperbole. The movie's allusion to mysteries in quantum mechanics being connected to the realm of consciousness is also valid, but then the movie blends over to spiritual revelations and to the implication of a quantum connection with the channeling of a 35,000-year-old Atlantis god named Ramtha and other such nonsense. That slippery slope, then, is what I'm referring to when I say that consciousness and quantum physics are intimately tied together. And just where on that slope a particular physicist is willing to place themselves has a lot to do with whether they believe there is any spiritual aspect to our reality or not. But even at the most atheistic viewpoint, we are still left with the mysteries of how matter can remain in indeterminate states until it is observed, and that is a very big mystery indeed. A few weeks ago, I published a blog entry suggesting one of those strange connections, that the accelerating expansion of our universe might be tied to the accelerating expansion of our consciousness, and that the first witnessing of dark energy and the launch of Google, both in 1998, might be connected to the beginnings of a change. As crazy as that idea sounds to some, it appears I didn't go far enough. A few weeks later, an article was published in New Scientist magazine, which starts with these astonishing paragraphs. It's called, Has Observing the Universe Hastened Its End? It's by Marcus Chown. Have we hastened the demise of the universe by looking at it? That's the startling question posed by a pair of physicists who suggest that we may have accidentally nudged the universe closer to its death by observing dark energy, which is thought to be speeding up cosmic expansion. Lawrence Krauss of Case Western Reserve University in Cleveland, Ohio, and colleague James Dent suggest that by making this observation in 1998, we may have caused the universe to revert to a state similar to early in its history, when it was more likely to end. Incredible as it seems, our detection of the dark energy may have reduced the life expectancy of the universe, says Krauss. This reminds me of a simple cartoon drawn by famed quantum cosmologist John Wheeler, which shows a U-shape with an eyeball at one tip, which is looking at the other tip as a representation of the Big Bang. Rudy Rucker discusses this cartoon in a blog entry that you can find in Google. I found it by typing in Rudy Rucker Wheeler eyeball, but I'm sure there's other ways you could find it too. And I'm sure there's other places where this cartoon is also shown on the web. The question Dr. Wheeler is asking with this cartoon is, does looking back now give reality to what happened then? This relates to discussions we've had here. The starting implication of all this is that not only are there many branching possibilities from the now forward in time, but there are also many branching possibilities back to the beginning of time as we experience it. While in my book I ask the reader to only acknowledge that these branches exist both forward and back, and that the simple line of time we look back upon is only one of many that could have got us here, the implications from these quantum physicists is even stranger. They are indeed saying that not just the present, not just the future branches, but the past as well can be changed by observation. This cartoon is also discussed in Quantum Enigma, and this is what they have to say. The provocative sketch has not lost impact. At the recent conference honoring Wheeler on his 90th birthday, a keynote speaker introduced his talk with Wheeler's sketch. The anthropic implications of his diagram must have been a lot even for Wheeler to buy. After asking the above question, he immediately added the comment, "The eye could as well be a piece of mica. It need not be a part of an intelligent being. Of course, that piece of mica, supposedly bringing reality to the Big Bang, had to be created after the Big Bang." And a song we looked at in yesterday's video blog that I've written called The Unseen Eye talks about those ideas as well. Another song of mine, The Anthropic Viewpoint, also talks about these implications contained within this sketch. To again quote from Quantum Enigma, the strong anthropic principle, the version that's called the strong anthropic principle, asserts the universe is hospitable to us because we could not create a universe in which we could not exist. Or, as I put it in the tongue-in-cheek chorus to my song, the reason we're here is because we're here. Let's watch that song now, The Anthropic Viewpoint.
Pay no attention to a man behind the curtain. The only thing that I know for certain, and everything that you say and do, the only thing you know for sure is you. Believing I can you'll be okay. You can live to fight another day someday. Pay no mind to those tiny little voices. Every day you gotta make some choices. Make them right and you can carry on. Make them wrong and you will soon be gone. And if it seems just a little unfair, get used to it, 'cause the stars don't care, don't care. In the anthropic viewpoint, the reason we're here is because we're here. And if it were impossible, then we wouldn't be. If there's other worlds and we've just missed them, the way to know what's outside our system. We're like goldfish living in a bowl. What's beyond it we can never know. All we can do is theorize, 'cause we can never get outside, outside. In the anthropic viewpoint, the reason we're here is because we're here. And if it were impossible, then we wouldn't be. So here we are in the hydrogen conspiracy. That's the way that it certainly appears to be. What's the reason? Where's the rhyme? How do we end up on this line? All those other possibilities, they're just as real, but they don't have me. big deal, not worth the fuss. They're just as real, but they don't have us, have us. But they don't have us. In the anthropic viewpoint, the reason we're here is because we're here. And if it were impossible, then we wouldn't be.
This leads back to the idea that memes rise and fall, and that synchronicity may or may not be the universe communicating memes to us, but in either case the connections that our wonderful pattern-oriented brains make are very real, because that's what brains are designed to do. Next blog entry I'm going to continue this discussion talking about 2 magazines that arrived in my mailbox yesterday, another bit of synchronicity, and the connections that I see in a number of the articles within those magazines and this project to the idea of boredom and consciousness. My song, Automatic, which is about Julian Jaynes' theories of the bicameral mind, is also going to figure prominently into where we go with this discussion. So we're going to finish off with that song today, Automatic, from Imagining the 10th Dimension. This is Rob Bryanton. Bye for now.
Must have been running on automatic. I simply can't recall. How did I get here? What was I doing? No clue at all. Lost my place in the conversation. What were we talking about? Thought I was here. Must have been dreaming without a doubt. Automatic. 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 Must have been running on automatic. What was for breakfast just this morning? I really couldn't say. Out there circling another planet, so far away. Where was my head at? Was I driving? Not even seeing the road. Was I only going through the motions? Don't even know. Automatic. 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 Must have been running on automatic. Julian Jaynes showed me he had the answer in the bicameral mind. Consciousness broken down into pieces. Oh, what a find. We've all been running on automatic since we were back in the trees. But still we made it here on automatic. How can it be? Automatic. 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 Must have been running on automatic. Something beautiful and complicated. Does it ever seem strange? How could we do that on automatic? Hard to explain. Automatic. Automatic. other man.